Hey everyone, welcome to our second episode of In-Person Insights, the 20-minute live sesh where we discuss the real about college, its barriers, and how to strategize around them. I am Bianca, she, her, hers pronouns, and I am a certified expert finesser, especially when it comes to strategizing money. I'm passionate about financial literacy and I love to share what I've learned with people in my community. In today's live, we're going to talk a little bit about the American Rescue Plan, specifically the child tax credit, and how you can use it to help double your savings. Today, I'm going to break it down with my co host, Raquel. Raquel, take it away.
Thanks, Bianca. Hello, I'm Raquel. And who wouldn't want to double their money? As an adult learner that has graduated with 2 bachelor's degrees, I know how hard it can be. Today's episode is jam packed with information that can help you, yes, you, save for college. As always, we value your questions and we'll try to answer all of them if time permits. Feel free to let us know in the comments below.
So, one of the biggest questions that I've always heard from past clients, being a financial coach and being in programs, is how can I save for myself or for my children for college while paying everyday bills? And I mean, this is a huge question. As an adult learner, the struggle is real, and I can totally empathize with it. Working full time, paying bills, and going to school is challenging, especially if you have children. So I really need to know who here in the audience, how many of you joining us today are trying to save for college? Drop your answers in the comments.
Uh, I was in the same boat when I was going to school, just like you, Bianca. I was working full time. I was living with my parents at that time to be able to help them as well as my siblings. And I was doing all of that while paying for school by myself. So I definitely know how challenging it is.
That's
But this is exactly why we're here. And we want you to have the information that you need to be able to save for money. But what excites me about what we're talking about today is none of this is going to require you to work more jobs or longer hours. But before we talk about these secret, not so secret ways to help double your money, we need to look into some details first. So, Bianca, what are these details people need to know?
all right. So I'm going to try to break this down as painless and as quickly as possible. So the American Rescue Plan is the child tax credit. It's the largest tax credit ever to date, and it's the most relief for low to moderate income families ever in America's history. So, big ups to America. Thanks for that. The amount parents receive for a child under the age of 6 was $3,000, and now it's $3,600. And now for children between the ages of 6 to 17, it was $2,000 and it's now $3,000. So, also, before the bill was passed, Columbia University conducted a study and they found that this plan will lift more than 5 million children out of poverty this year, cutting the poverty rate by 50%. And as we know, like pre-COVID, families were struggling, and being able to have this liquid, you know, currency, like this liquid money, like is so helpful. And the fact is even more true after COVID. Unfortunately, the pandemic seems to have only further exacerbated many of the challenges and many of the barriers that first gen and low to moderate income students face. But the way that you can break out of that is to think about how you can maximize your child tax credit.
The fact that this is the largest credit ever and it's helping cut poverty it's really amazing. It makes me just always want to like tear up anytime I read articles about this. But the great thing with these funds is that there are no strings attached. You can use these funds however you wish. On top of it being the child tax credit, for the first time ever, parents have actually been receiving monthly payments now. They've either been receiving them, they're either been deposited into your bank account or mailed to you as a check.
Yeah, and I'd like to add to that a little bit, like what you're saying about tearing up, and it also like is like kind of like, wow, thank you, finally. You're starting to understand, like, you can budget so much money and you can have a budget, whatever the case may be, but if there's no money to put in that budget, if there's no excess money to put in that budget, what is the use of like a cash flow statement or a budget?
Mhm.
So, just to go back on the qualifications of this, there are no qualifications. So, as long as you filed your 2019 or 2020 tax return, or if you filed for the stimulus check, you qualify. So, now, what do you say we move on from this, Raquel, and jump into the 4 ways that you can double up on your child tax credit? No strings attached. I love when my money makes money. I mean, that's why I got into stocks, honestly. Bitcoin. So, what do you think, Raquel?
Yes, let's jump into how you can double your tax credit. The first one is Inversant's Savings Challenge. So, Inversant's new savings challenge can help you double your college savings. How do you ask? Well, first of all, you can sign up to pre-register for the challenge, and get ready to set your savings goals and increase your child tax credit. It's that simple, everyone. The goal is to help you take your tax credit, say $300, and multiply that each quarter with a savings match of up to $150. We know times are tough. We also know families can use extra money. That's where the savings challenge comes in. We'll show you how to build the habit of saving, learn how to save for college, and all while increasing the amount you're saving. So let's get you started. If you go to bit.ly.com/inversant savings, you can pre-register now and gain your VIP spot as early as next week, because space is limited. The second way to double your your child tax credit is with an open Inversant savings account. Through our partnership with local Boston Bank, Metro Credit Union, you'll
Hey,
open up a savings account, deposit your funds, and earn basic interest. Combining this with the savings challenge will give you the tools you need, plus the know-how to set up a regular savings budget so your savings is working for you every single day. Plus, it would help you calmly strategize where you're putting your money, both income and expenses, in the most efficient and effective way possible. So you can avoid taking out loans for school, because we all know loans aren't fun. You have to pay those back. So check it out and learn more at bit.ly.com/inversant savings.
that sounds great, Raquel. And I love the investment savings challenge. And I really hope that everybody's rushing to all their devices to check this out because, I mean, when your money makes money for your, like when you can double up your money without having to do anything, that's the best. And, there's very few match programs really left in college savings. So let's continue. I digress. So, the third way you can ramp up your savings is through the creation of an emergency savings account. When I was a financial coach, I always push an emergency savings account because nobody plans for emergencies and you will need that money. So, again, no one saw this pandemic coming. No one knew the disruptions or like how much it would change all of our lives. Loss of jobs, our education system was turned upside down, and families were struggling to support one another. So, the sooner you open up an emergency savings account for unforeseen expenses, the better you'll be. So, I always would suggest, like, if you get a tax return and now with this child tax credit, if you take a portion of that and kind of save it and like spread it out for the year, you can allocate different funds to different kinds of savings accounts you have. So, our last smart way to double your child tax credit is to invest in a 529 plan. So, for those of you who don't know what a 529 plan is, I'll explain it really quick. So, a 529 plan is used to be able to save for higher education. The reason why you would want one is because these accounts are not subject to income tax. And when you use the funds to pay for qualified education expenses, the withdrawals are typically tax free. When you open a 529, you connect it to your checking account and then you kind of like direct deposit it into your 529 each month. Here in Massachusetts, we have baby steps, and it's available to children born or adopted within the last year. Every resident who is eligible will receive a $50 seed deposit into their account. So again, free money. There are, it is a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit tedious to kind of open up this account. There's like a lot of questions and stuff. I mean, our savings challenge is probably a lot easier, but I mean, anywhere you can get extra funds, you should check it out. If you don't already have a 529 college savings plan set up, these payments could be a good way to kickstart those savings. Our partner, Metro Credit Union, has financial advisors ready to help you understand how 529 works and how to best get it started. I also would suggest going to see a financial advisor and make sure they're a fiduciary, because um, 529s, as great as they can be, can also be really restrictive. So let's say if you have a child that's 7 years old and you want to start saving for college, awesome. Like, I think you should have a 529. Um, but like there's rules around it. Like, they might not be accepted in some career schools, like the expenses from the 529. So you really, really gotta do some research and talk to a financial advisor to make sure like this is the best step for you and your family.
That is all great information.
Thanks. I try my best out here in these streets.
All right. Well, for everyone watching, that is a wrap on today's episode. So here's what we went over today. If you want to double your child tax credit, pre-register for the Investment Savings Challenge today. Pre-registration opens. It's already open. Go to bit.ly.com/investment savings. Be on the lookout for your invitation as early as next week. And get ready to start saving. Who doesn't like to save? Qualify for the Investment Savings Match, and it'll help you reach your college savings goals faster. Doesn't that sound awesome, Bianca?
It does. I love how you said who doesn't like to save, because I was about to be like, me, I love to spend. But that is a habit that I had to stop because I needed to save and, make sure that I'm taking care of myself and getting everything that I want. So catch us again in 2 weeks on Thursday, October 14th at 12 p.m., where we're going to talk about habits of highly successful college students. Hint, we already talked about one today, saving for college, and that is huge. So, Raquel, what do you think your top school habit was?
So mine is between organization and note taking. I was that student that had a planner and blocked off my time, my study plans. Yes.
I see it all.
Yes. I was that student that scheduled my classes around the time that I was awake and alert. I was that student that set time aside Sunday night to plan my week just
Wow.
based on my assignments and homework.
Crazy.
I may or may not still do that now, and I may or may not still have like 2-3 planners planning out my day and my week.
I know you do because I've seen them. You suggested one for me. You know what I love is that we get along so well, but we're totally different people.
We complement each other, which is nice.
Exactly.
But I was also very proud of my notes. I was also one of those students that took notes in class, and then I would rewrite them during my scheduled study time. I would color code them. I still have color coded pins right now. And it helped me review my notes while I was doing that. So like I said, I may or may not still do this right now, but what was yours, Bianca? Or what is yours?
Are we talking about high school or college?
College.
Well, I mean, I guess the habit was both in high school and college. I was always late to class, like no matter what time it was, because I always had to stop and get an iced coffee. I mean, my professors probably saw me strolling in with my iced coffee late to class every day. We're like, who does this girl think she is? But that's what I say. We're super different. Like, I would listen in class and then just take a test and hope that it was for the best. But I hate homework. Like I hate it so much. Um, and I'm kind of just like a tornado running through life. So like, I mean, I will take notes, but they'd usually be like in hieroglyphics, like I draw emojis and stuff, and like try to. I think with laptops though, it's gotten a lot easier for me to take notes. I didn't like to write with my hand. And also being able to do like voice commands, like technology has really, really made it easier for me to become a more organized student. So while I'm still probably going to be late with my iced coffee, I have adopted some of your habits. I may not be color coding stuff, but at least my notes are coherent now. So
Nice. That's good because you need good notes to be able to review for your classes and
little
prepare for exams.
little victories, Raquel.
Yep, that is very true. All right. Well, make sure to follow us, hit the subscribe button on all our social media platforms so you never miss an episode. We go live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Until next time.
Thanks, everybody. See you guys October.